prediction some years ago that Nigeria would become a failed state has actually come to pass. Some of the indices of a failed state are when non-state actors possess equal or stronger or more potent power than a legitimately constituted government, power of violence, instruments of coercion and violence, as we are saying now. And let us not always be saying Nigeria is indivisible, it is indissoluble. It's not a textbook definition. Indissolubility and indivisibility can only be brought about when you nurture unity, mutual respect, egalitarianism. It is already divided because every geopolitical zone is already going according to its own details. There is no cohesion. There is no leadership. Can't you see that Nigeria is hemorrhaging? Can't you see that we are bleeding? Can't you see that we are on a journey to no destination? Can't you see that the president should wake up from his self-imposed cocoon and hibernation and seize the reins of power and save Nigeria from what remains of ourselves, self-implosion, self-immolation? Can't you see that we are tottering, we are wobbly, we are groggy? Can't you see that we are falling? We are falling apart. Can't you see that we needed, as yesterday, to do something urgent to save Nigeria from the precipice, from breaking up into smithereens? Can't you see that the house is collapsing, that the edifice is collapsing? Can't everybody see it? Even if you are blind, can't you feel it? Even if you are blind and you can't feel it, are you?
When you take the history of Nigeria, from the very beginning, when we were amalgamated, to the very beginning we became a nation, we got it altogether wrong. You bring in people of different culture, different beliefs, different socialization, different milieu, different outlooks, merge them together by force to form a nation. Only the initial builders of Nigeria had a clear vision and a mission, devoid of any sentiment. Soon thereafter, it became clear that it was a wrong union. It was a union that was not properly negotiated. We could have remained a great country if we have isolated our own identities, peculiarities, culture, while contributing to build a nation just like America. But we ended up having people from one generation, one set of leaders to another, everybody coming with a vision and a mission, and destroy the previous ones he met, even if they are good, because they are put in place by an imaginary enemy. Secondly, we have a nation where we celebrate criminals. It is only in Nigeria that somebody will clearly steal and loot hugely from the public treasury, and then after some times you see him receiving national honors. You see him being given chieftaincy titles. You see him being called king, prince, or an emir. That is an indicator that we are yet to be there. We also have a complacent followership, a followership that is satisfied with collecting 500 naira to vote, 1,000 naira to vote, a bar of soap, a tin of milk. On that basis, he surrenders his franchise. It means we are not conscious of our civic duties and responsibilities as a nation. Majority of the common people that are complaining now are also contributing to the destruction of the country in collaboration with the colleagues of the elites. While the elites are losing the treasury, they are hailing them. Today, if a northerner were to be caught stealing 10 billion naira and he is taken to court, believe me honestly, you will see northern organizations, northern elites, some of them saying that he is being persecuted because he's a northerner, because he's a Muslim.
There's no country anymore. As we are today, Nigeria is gone. What we have is a carcass, and life is short and brutish, and everyone we're all on edge. We are the victimhood that a lot of people refuse to see coming to us. We are all there. And unfortunately, we do not have a president. We have someone who rigged his way into office, an illegitimate president, and who doesn't care. And of course, anyone who is ready to do anything, you know, snatch it, run with it and all of that to get into office, they don't care about the people. They don't care. There's no empathy. And that's what we're seeing today. And Nigeria has gotten into a place where you're not even sure that you're going to see the next day, because you might be a victim, might be taken away even from inside your own house. And that's why Nigeria
is not a united country, despite all the pretenses. We are not South since 1914. It has not changed. The North, at the flip of a switch, they are able to shout Northern interest. The Southerners are laid back, hoping that, oh, we are civilized, we don't want to talk about tribalism. Tribalism is at play. We are pretentious about this matter. Look, the North has taken us for a ride for too long. They foisted federal character on Nigeria over 40 years. They foisted quota system over Nigeria over 40 years. Have they benefited from it? Only the tiny clique in the North is holding the whole country to ransom. It's enough time for Nigeria to wake up. We are not together, North nor South. Now they are talking the elite, the few elite in the North, like if the bottle is going to be removed from their mouths. That's what they are doing. They are shouting. They are forming a group now. Lead of Northern Democrats. It's a fact that we are divided. We pretend that is totally, I don't understand it. The North knows what they want, and the South are reluctant to say what they want. President Tinubu is better to put all the cards on the table, trying to pepper over it and say we are united. Of course, we are not united. We are not united. We are divided. That's just the truth. I've told you now that the North brought federal character. The South agreed to okay, fine, we are united. Where is the result of it? The North brought quota system. Southerners agree with it. It's in the constitution. What is the result? If we now bring in tax to say, okay, get more VAT in the North at the expense of the South, so what will be the result? The division will continue until we remove the feeding bottle. Let everybody just work according to his own dictates. The North sincerely believes in Sharia. We should not draw them for that purpose now. We should let them be. They want Sharia. In the South, there are Muslims. We don't want Sharia. Somebody brought us in Oyo to do Sharia in Oyo. Everybody put it down. The Muslims in the South don't want Sharia. So why are we pretending? In the Southeast, some few Muslims, but they don't want Sharia. Let's accept who we are. Let's accept reality so that we'll not stop talking and motion without movement. That's what it is. I'm not ashamed. Okay, look, if President Tinubu succeeds now, 2027, 2031, every Yoruba person in Abuja will be clean out of the system. Because Buhari started with Fulani, he is doing Yoruba now. Let the Igbos come. We cannot block the Igbos if they put 99% in all positions too. Is that the way we are building the country? Let Yoruba man go and rule Yoruba land. Let the North agree who will rule Northwest. Let the Kanuri rule Northeast. Let the Igbos rule the Southeast. Let the South agree. Then the temperature will come down. I will not want to be running federal election with 200 million naira form because I have to run from Sokoto to Ikotekpene. I will campaign as a premier of Western region where people know me and I know them. I know what they want. The Southwest want to bring all Yorubas who are Japan, bring them back to Nigeria. Nigeria is too hostile for the Yorubas now. Nigeria is a poisoned environment for Yoruba because we invested in education so much and we have lost all the human beings. They are developing other societies. The North will not care less. How many doctors do they have in United States? How many doctors do they have in Europe? These are are facts and put on the table now. I don't need to sugarcoat anything at all. We are divided. Let's just accept it. It's no fight. It's no war. The North will come up on their own. We will respect each other. But this matter of trying to play some games, President Tinubu is better. In fact, if he runs only one term and he brings this temperature down, his name will go down in history. But if he does not do anything in the next 6 months about restructuring, and he goes to use all the money to run election in 2027 and he wins, and then what? Yorubas will become endangered in the political system, because once he leaves, then Nigeria not safe for Yorubama again. We cannot continue the way we are now. Absolutely. Things have to change. And the earlier the change comes about, the better.
This government's agenda is not, in restructuring. Nigerians have right to, seek to determine their future through a constitutional means. It has to be pursued legally, not through intimidating anybody or any part of this country. We have seen, the hands of some adversaries to this government. We have heard, speeches from people that are out to destabilize the government. If you recall, people that Nnamdi Kanu, who has been on the forefront of, calling for a Biafran state or the Biafran country, it's a PDP man. In 2012, he was in London campaigning for Jonathan Goodluck. He was pushing for stability of this country when Jonathan was the president. Jonathan lost the election and he started abusing, castigating President Muhammadu Buhari.
Mohammed Lawal, can I interrupt you there? Can I interrupt you and come in and say some groups, especially the Afenifere, had said what APC had done can be called political 419 because they did promise to restructure Nigeria. But I also remember that the APC chairman said, no, that's not what they've promised. That what they've promised is devolution of power. Be that as it may, which one sits better with you? Restructure or devolution? If devolution is what sits better with you, tell us how you think that can be achieved.
Look, nobody is afraid of restructuring this country. In fact, this country was amalgamated. So if we sit down and say we want it to be de-amalgamated, so be it. Nobody is afraid of restructuring. Look, President Goodluck, in his 2014 confab, it was done, and there were 3 recommendations. First recommendation can be achieved through executive orders. The second one can be achieved through legislative, bills. The third one has to be done through, a constitutional amendment. He didn't submit, he didn't do even the simplest one that he has the power to do unilaterally. And now he and some of his people that were in the government were coming to say that they want restructuring, they are supporting the Biafran call for, Biafran state. You see, this government is not afraid of restructuring. What we are saying is that let it, even if it is coming, let it come through the legitimate way that such issues are addressed in this country.
Let's not go into who is saying
what. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, good. Let's not go into, because you mentioned Nnamdi Kanu, and then I don't think I heard you mention what the youth in the North said, which is treasonable in some quarters. People have talked about that. But let's not go there. Is this really a question of secession or restructure, as much as it is a failure of leadership to provide equity, fairness, and a sense of belonging?
Look, if it is secession that, the people from the Southeast who are very ones. Let them table it on the. Let them put it on the table. And let's discuss it. Nobody is afraid of secession or restructuring. But what we're saying in that, let it be tabled properly. And look, you mentioned about the youth in the north. The youth in the north.
Lawa, you're not getting my question. Hold on.
Make a statement.
Hold on. That's not my question. That's not my question. What I asked is.
Okay, go ahead. Can you please state your question?
Good. Is it really not a question of the failure of leadership that will provide fairness, equity, and belonging rather than that of restructuring or secession? That's my question.
Yeah, well, if you are talking about the failure of leadership, that people from different parts of this country are either asking for restructuring, devolution, whatever, that is not far-fetched. And leadership from where? Who are the first people? Who are the first entities that are calling for restructuring or devolution? You see, each part of the country has states, and there are local governments, and each part of this government has, its own mandate to cut up for the welfare and the well-being of the people. So if there is failure from an aspect of, of the governance, it cannot be loaded on the federal government alone and say that it is either the northerners or it's not willing, to give people their right or their well-being or their belonging, so it has to be properly addressed. That's what I'm saying. Leaders, they may have their own, portion of the blame to take, but definitely sure you cannot say, if the leaders in the southwest or in the southeast have failed to address the need of their people, you cannot load it on the federal government or on the leaders of the whole country.
We need to create a new set of leaders entirely, because what is obviously lacking in this leadership is the political will, the capacity to put into action the grievances and the demands of the people. Anything that has to do with this crop of leaders sitting and coordinating the efforts for a restructured Nigeria, for a revamped Nigeria, to retooling or rejigging of Nigeria, the political will is totally lost. So what I recommend is that people should stand up right now and take their lives and their futures in their hands. And I'm basically talking now to young people and the elites, the lettered people. We should stop talking about nation building and start working about it. By now, I expect that all of us who are lettered, who have some form of knowledge, who have information about the way a country should be run as against the way it is run now, who have an understanding of the clear gaps and the inadequacies of this system, should go back to our different communities. Jeff Kennedy said all politics is local. No matter how sophisticated you are, you either belong to a local government by birth or you belong to a local government by domiciliary. By now, I expect young people.
So guys, I'm sure you guys have listened to that video. Now I want to share something that has been on my mind for a while now, something that every Nigerian needs to think about. What really makes us one nation? Because when you look closely at the things that are supposed to unite a people, language, religion, culture, you realize that we don't even share those things in common. Let's start with language. The three major ethnic groups in Nigeria, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, all speak completely different languages. The Igbo speak Igbo, the Hausa speak Hausa, and the Yoruba speak Yoruba. No common tongue, no unifying language. Then we move to religion. Among the Igbos, almost 95% are Christians. Then among the Hausas, about 90 to 95% are Muslims. And the Yorubas, well, I would say roughly 60% are Muslims and 40% are Christian. So again, even in religion, we are divided, right? Now let's just talk about culture. Do we have the same culture? No, we don't. The Hausa culture is completely different from the Yoruba culture. And the Yoruba culture is very different from the Igbo culture. And yes, I know there are many other ethnic groups in Nigeria, and I respect that. But when I refer to the three major groups, it's because of many of the smaller groups align or fall under these larger cultural group regions. So the major ethnic group is Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo, and so other ones, fall under them. That is it. So the question I'm asking, what is that glue that is holding Nigeria today? Because just a few days ago, some northern man came out threatening Christians, threatening Igbos, and even Yoruba people. We also have videos of Yoruba elders saying we are not one. Some are even boldly calling for separation, for everyone to go their own way and live peacefully. So I'm left with that same burning question. If you can't live together as one, then why not live apart in peace? Why not live apart in peace? Because it's becoming frustrating. We don't have anything common. So this thing they're saying that Nigeria is one. Nigeria is not one. We are not sharing anything in common. Really, a question we need to think about. This is what Nigerians should think about. Anyway, guys, that's what we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below. And also, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video. So, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys again in my next video.